We're really glad to see you again, to be back, and to share with you this topic. Um, in the understanding that we love and live and use in our coaching, it's really clear that if we live in a good feeling, we can connect with abilities far greater than if we live from following our thinking mind. And I've had an interest recently in spontaneous healing. So I've been listening to Dr. Joe Dispenza about his experience with so many people and spontaneous healing. And how does that happen? What happens in the brain? What are the scientific facts behind spontaneous healing? Well, it is when we arrive in a really good brain state, which gives us a really good feeling of love.
And I think it's more than just a brain state. He talks about that, but it's not the brain as much, actually. He points out the power is really in the heart.
Yeah, in the feeling center.
Yeah, that's what really seems to tip the whole thing is when we get out of our brain into our heart, then developing a coherence between the two, as opposed to what I did for so much of my life. I can make my life work, which was all up here. And I would have these moments of love and everything went so well. But I kept believing that this was the best driver of the bus. I could get that driver to get me where I wanted to go.
Yeah, exactly. I certainly experienced that. And recently, in coaching couples who have difficulty in their relationship, we have had such wonderful experiences seeing them shift from living here and all the suffering and tension that can create to dropping into that place of love, and how their relationship changes before your eyes.
Yeah, I like what you said at the beginning. You said, when we find ourselves in this good feeling, living from a good feeling, not like talking ourselves into feeling good with positive affirmations and that kind of thing, but really we know that space, that good feeling, that sense of well-being that is simply there, not because we've kind of imposed it. When you said, when we live from this good feeling, it gives us access to these abilities.
That's true.
And I just wanted to point out, it's not these mystical abilities or somewhere that when we get into this feeling, they come into our lives. I mean, we all experience it. And we see it, like Connie was saying, with these couples, when they begin to understand how to look at their lives and their relationships and everything in this new perspective that we share in our coaching. They're no longer trying to manage life outside themselves. And it leaves them in a good feeling when they don't feel like I've got to change this person or make sure I avoid this and that. When they know that they can trust themselves from this good feeling, it's like we have access to greater creativity and productive thinking. And it's not magical, is it? When we're kind of afraid to interact with a person in a certain way, at least I can feel myself closing down. My options for what to do are really narrow. And I've come out of that good feeling and I think, I've got to make sure I don't say the wrong thing and this and that. When I'm in the good feeling and I show up with somebody that maybe having a bad day, and you can see they might have a little volatility there. If I stay open in that good feeling, I naturally don't say things that are going to be problematic. And if something problematic comes up, I mean, think about it. When we're in a settled mind, we see so many better options than when we're really tense and things have to change. I mean, we don't have kids, but I've seen parents deal with children in problem situations, And you can see when a parent is calm and they're not freaking out, and they've got to get that child to change, what the words they choose, the energy that they share is very different from when this has got to stop. We got to get out of here. Just grab them by the collar. It's so different. And that ability is the ability that Connie's talking about. We have access to abilities when our mind is settled that we don't have access to when we're all uptight and in fight or flight or anxiety or overwhelm.
Yeah, when our mind settles, we naturally connect with this deeper wisdom and we feel more joy, more love, more well being, because that is our true nature. When we let the thinking mind settle and rest in this quiet place within, that's our true nature. We're connecting with the love that we are. I want to give you an example. I was doing a coaching session with a group of people that I'd done for 4 years. So we had quite a lot of interaction. And one gentleman said he didn't think I could deal with what he was confronted with in his life at that moment.
You couldn't deal with it, you couldn't help him with it.
Help him. That's a better way to say it. And so after the call, I said, no problem, just stay on if you wish and listen in. And he did. And after the call, I started to think about it. Well, is there something that I'm really not meeting in him that would make a difference? And thought after thought started to build those thought castles. And all of a sudden, I realized I was in not a good space. So I remembered what Sid Banks said, the gentleman who really developed this understanding that we coach from. He said, just live in a good feeling, find a good feeling and follow that. So in that moment, I thought, I'm really grateful to him because he's making me inquire as to how I can broaden and deepen what I'm already quite familiar with. And that changed everything. And then I could let the thoughts float on by and have a wonderful rest of my day. So the way to get in that good feeling is we can take a moment and just feel gratitude for whatever we're grateful for. Or we can let the thinking mind settle. And then we return to the truth of who we are, which is wonderful.
I think what you're getting at too is that when the mind settles, we become present. In that state of presence, what's really showing up right here instead of kind of living from all this past, oh, this person said this and does it mean that and everything else. We're not really present.
Yeah, very true.
When we let our mind settle, and I think actually, in order to be grateful, authentically grateful, we just have to get present. It's just like that is what is here in the present moment, is what's beautiful. And what I'm hearing you say too reminds me of what George and Linda Pransky, practitioners, counselors, coaches in this same understanding, share with couples in their relationship coaching, that the approach that we use is what they refer to as high mood therapy as opposed to low mood therapy. Meaning that when they work with clients, they talk with them about where things are working in their relationship,
right,
to get them into that good mood. Because from that good mood, we have access to solutions that we don't have access to when we're all uptight. Just what Connie was saying, it's like we have more ability. We can draw on our natural abilities, our true nature, much better when we're in a good mood than when we're in a low mood. And so they never approach things when couples will start to talk to them about the problems they're having. They say, wait, let's not go there yet. Because look at what happens when you share that stuff. How do you feel? And they go, well, I'm all uptight again. Okay, let's not go there now. It's almost counterintuitive because it seems like we've got to sink our teeth into what the problem is if we're going to get out of it. And the truth is, what we've found with the couples we work with, and all these different cases we've heard and seen from the Pranskys, it works so much better the other way. And it's so fulfilling when people begin to realize that, oh, first we just find that good feeling, and then we deal with the issue because we see it so differently and have access to such different, more productive solutions.
So if you would like a free coaching, we're happy to meet with any of you and share what we've found so powerful in our own relationship and in supporting others. So the recipe today is a beautiful casserole. It's called like a not tuna casserole, but it tastes like a tuna casserole and it's really good. It makes enough for 6 people. So we put it in the fridge after the first day and have it the second day and even the third day. And we love it each day that we have it. So give it a go.
Yeah, it's kind of our one form of batch cooking for us. We cook a big casserole and it's good for 3 days. And it's good enough. We certainly don't get tired of it.
That's true.
Okay. Thanks everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
See you next week.